Hi guys, so this is a bit of an experiment. I have been using this channel to do some content for MechWarrior Online for quite some time now. And now I'm going to try out to do it for Warhammer 3. It's a game that I was playing in Game 2 quite a bit, but then when Game 3 was released it was in such a bad shape, so I stopped playing completely and went back to MechWarrior and played that for 2 years, I think, something like that. But now recently I started to glance back at Warhammer 3 and the game has improved quite a bit since launch and it looks kind of playable now. And so I'm sort of relearning the game here, and I'm not very good at it yet, but I'm trying. And I kind of threw myself in the shallow end of the pool and joined a new play tournament just to see what we could do with the good old High Elves that I used to play in Warhammer 2. So I think I will just sort of share the games I had in the tournament, at least the last 3 or 4 games, and do some commenting and see how that works, and see if anyone would be interested in watching that. So let's just get going with the first game in the group play and see how it goes. Alright, so this is the first game I'll show. It's the third game I played in the tournament, but the first 2 were really bad, so we're not doing this. It was 1 win and 1 loss. But here we're going up against Khorne, and what I know about Khorne at this stage is basically that it's a melee faction without magic, and they're really strong melee. And they come at me here with Marauders of Khorne, Marauders dual weapons, and 2 Minotaurs, 1 with great weapons, and 2 Doggos. And then they also have, in the back here, 2 Furies. And that's a bit problematic for me, because they will pincer me and catch me. I can't do anything about that at this point. But luckily for me it's only 2, it could have been 4, so that's fine. So since we don't want to give them the melee fight, I go into this game with a skirmish build, more mobile, with the 4 units of Shadow Walkers here. And I really like these guys in game 3, because in game 2 they were much more expensive, but here they only cost 1000 gold now, so I think they're really worth it. They have great accuracy and they have really good melee damage, missile damage. And they apply poison. And on top of this they have really good melee stats. C42 39 is really good, and on top of this they have 12 bonuses infantry. So these guys will beat a lot of other infantry in melee after they've used their ammo. So I think these are actually really cost efficient now, if you have the right kind of game for them. And then we supplement here with 3 units of Dragon Princes to have that mobile punch against the infantry, mainly. And one of them is the Roar, which has some bonus for large as well, so we can do decently versus large as well. And especially because a lot of the large here that Khorne might bring doesn't have the best armor, so again, it's lucky for me that he doesn't come with Chaos Knights. That would have been worse. He comes with Minotaurs and infantry instead, so I'm a little bit lucky here. Then we also have a Star Dragon that goes in here, and that's about it. We heal with Larry. So we start to kick off now, and the dogs are trying to catch my Shadow Walkers, but thanks to the poison I can counter charge with some Dragon Princes here and make it just in time. I was a bit slow on the trigger there, but I was lucky to get away with it. But now the Furies come in from the back, and here I stress out a little bit and miss my micro on the Shadow Walkers here, I think. They stop here. I'm not sure exactly why, but here they stop. And they get engaged in melee. And yeah, gets stuck standing for a while. The cavalry here also continues too far back. I should have counter-charged earlier, but we get it off here at least. And they come back and counter-charge. And now we just try to survive with the Shadow Walkers, take some damage. And we also get the Tempest in on the Furies, so at least we get rid of a lot of health on these two, and we counter charge with the fireball to get rid of those guys. However, the Minotaurs come in now and will get their charge off on my infantry, and I pull them back immediately. So we mitigate most of that, it wasn't too bad. So we pull back again, try to get the Shadow Walkers, get them some distance, and then we need to go back in again with the cavalry to take care of the Minotaurs. And these are the most dangerous units left now. We got rid of the Furies and the Dogs, and so the only fast element left is the Minotaurs, and we get the charge on them. Not the best one, but we get the charge on them with the Fireball. So you can see that they tank a lot of damage here from the Fireball. So that's really good, and then we'll start to work on the infantry with the Eye of our Dragon Princes here, and get a free charge on the front, and try to pull out hopefully as soon as possible, because the Minotaurs are coming in here. And we'll start to pull back. Yeah. And we'll start to work on the infantry here as well. So the Dragon Princes need to work on the infantry here and just try to avoid the Minotaurs, and then we pull away with the Shadow Walkers. And now we have routed the most damaged unit, and all in all it wasn't too bad. We lost like between 25% and 50% of the models, so we have quite a lot of Shadow Walkers left. And now we got rid of the mobile components of the opponent here, so we're in good shape now. So now it's just some cycle charging. I try to get rid of these Minotaurs that are routing, to make sure that they don't come back in good shape at least. And here the 5-1 should pull away, yes. This unit of Dragon Prince here, I forget, stuck in melee for too long, so they get a bit hurt, but they do manage to get out without getting completely encircled by the Minotaurs here, so again a little bit of luck. At this stage we just start to chip away a bit. Valkia takes a lot of damage from the Shadow Walkers actually, because they have good accuracy, so they can hit these small targets even if she's armored and have a shield. She takes quite a bit of damage there because of the accuracy. On this end here we are now just cycle charging infantry, and we should also get rid of these Minotaurs. They are so hurt that they will break immediately. And then the dragon here goes in to get more active. I pull away again, but he should get more active. Maybe it's a breath first. Yes, we try to do a breath on the Minotaurs. Not the best hit, but I just wanted to be active with it because it hasn't really done anything so far in this game. So I would probably just go for Valky as well now to just yeah. Here we go for Valkia to get some damage in, and the Minotaurs are all the way here and can't help her and can't pin me down, so nothing here can stop the Star Dragon from doing his thing. And we also get some free cycle charges here back on the infantry that we need to start working on them, because it will take some time to get them down. But they can't really do much back to high armor short cavalry like this. The dragon needs to pull out now again. This has stayed for a little bit too long in infantry, so it pulls out without problems because the Minotaurs are now routing. And we'll just pull back. Oh, a cultist here. Yeah, we didn't really pay attention to him in this game. Just try to ignore him. And then we start cycle charging more here. But now we have got rid of all the mass, and we got rid of all the ranged. And at this point the game is basically over. We can cycle charge a bit until we hit armor losses or he drops the time. So we're just pulling away. We're looping around now to avoid the white line in the back. And yeah, we're quite successful white line here too, so that's fine. So we just cycle charge until it's over, and we also go for the snipe on Valkia there, and when she dies we hit armor losses. So that's it for the first game. If we look at the damages, I think there's no huge values here. The Star Dragon did okay, killed Valkia, and yeah, it was a threat that they couldn't really deal with after they lost the Minotaurs. And then the cavalry did okay. They all got the value back and a lot of chefs, and they dealt with the infantry and all the fast elements like they needed to do. And then the Shadow Walkers did okay. yeah, nothing fantastic, but all of them pulled their weight, I would say, and did well. And for the corn, it was rough. They got good values on one of the Minotaurs there. Yeah, the Minotaur's great weapons did fine. Otherwise, they didn't make much contact. The Furies actually got almost their value back, even though they died in, I don't know, 30 seconds. So these are really nasty, and I was lucky that it didn't bring 4. And then the rest of the infantry here didn't make much contact, so that would be rough for them. Alright, the second game now is against Empire, and Empire is a faction that you can almost not beat them with High Elves, I'd say, if they bring a nasty build. But my opponent here was a gentleman and did not bring a nasty build. And I don't mean to say that it's a bad build, but he didn't bring a steam tank, so that's good for me. Steam tanks are really broken. But instead he went with a long rifle build, so he has 3 long rifles, and then he has a front line of great swords, and some spears, and 2 Empire Knights. Jade Wizard for healing, and Karl Franz. So he wants to win the front line here, and have that stability, and he also had the range advantage for most part. I come in here with a build that I was hoping to have a chance against Empire at least, if they bring a steam tank. So that's why I'm going with 2 bolt throwers to put that range pressure over time and hopefully stress him out a bit. And also went with an Arcane Phoenix, because at least it is decent in melee, but I actually think the steam tank will beat it in melee, so it's not enough to bring a single entity sort of duelist worth like 1850 gold against the steam tank. It still loses in melee to it if I'm not wrong here. So then I have an Archmage of Metal to have that synergy with my Silver Helms. And I bring 4 units of Silver Helms, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reason I bring the Silver Helms here is that I really like the unit for some reason, but they have great stats. 36 is good for cavalry, and 64 charge bonus. So the problem is that they don't have enough AP damage, but if you get the Plague of Rust from the Metal Mage, then you get rid of that disadvantage, and these units can really shine against other cavalry if you reduce their armor. So that's the way I like to use them, and I think they're really good in that role. And they're also good generalists, generalist cavalry. They're really good at hitting backline units, or they have a good damage on the charge against low armor, so I like them. Then I have a front line here with 3 units of White Lions for that AP and 3 spears. And I also like the White Lions here in combination with the Silver Helms against cavalry. So if the Empire come in with a lot of cavalry, you can try to block the charge with the Silver Helms and then immediately go in with White Lions, or just go in simultaneously if you can. Then you have a 50-50 chance that he will get the charge on the wrong target and so on. So it helps a lot to use the White Lions in combination with Silver Helms. So that's yeah, I really like the Silver Helms in this type of build, a very wide High Elf build with some range pressure. So that's the plan, and we'll just see how it goes. So I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of mistakes in this game. As I remember it, it was far from perfect. But we go in. Let's fast forward a little bit so we get some action. So we move up with the artillery, and I don't really know what to shoot here because I don't really have a good target. The cavalry is low value, and in the end I decided to go for the front line, the great swords. They're a higher value target, and I think that I will not deal very efficient damage against the long rifles, but I'm not sure that is actually true. Maybe I would have done good damage against them, but I go for the front line anyway, because the way I see it at that point at least is that I need to get rid of the front line. I need to win the front line here to get into the cookie jar. If I lose the front line, I will be in trouble, and they will just march on and take out my bolt throwers. So that's what I go with at least. And we'll see how that works. Then I move up the cab on the sides, and I also move up the archmage here to support that engagement. And since he's not reacting, I just give the charge, and I will cast a Plague of Rust on this unit here as soon as I get in range. So that's a big mistake from my opponent, and that unit will take a lot of damage now. And a bit encouraged by that, I guess, I will also move up on the other side, because it seems like he's now busy focusing here, and I go for the free charge on the other unit and try to move around the cab to get the flank charge with the other Silverhelm. And I keep focusing down the great swords here. He reinforces with Karl here, so we'll win that engagement, but I have one more unit I can engage with here also to support the cab fight and hopefully win that. So I cycle out the other cab here and go in with this cab unit so that I get a fresh charge bonus in and try to save this unit from a sustained battle with the Plague of Rust that's worn off, so it's not a favorable engagement anymore for these guys. Then the front lines meet, and I now start to just work with bolt throwers and whittle down the... Now I've switched actually to the long rifles, and you see now I do good damage here, at least from the side. So maybe I should have targeted them from the front with the scatter shot. It actually does very good damage here, so surprisingly good. And then I get around with the White Lions and push back the longer rifles. At the same time I get around with the cab from the back and get a nice sandwich on them. We have also pulled out with the cab here, and both cab units are now free, and we can engage this side. And we have chased off one unit of cab back here and forgotten about the unit for a while, and hopefully I will realize that soon. And here I also have this arch unit that has been sneaking up here that can just stand here and deal 3 damage all game. So I'm really in a really good position now, because I got the fight in front of my ranged units, and he doesn't have anything to pressure them with because he lost the cab, and he needs to use the cab he has left here to defend against my cab. And I have 4 units of Silverhelms, and he had only 2 units of Empire Knights. There's another Plague of Rust, so this Empire Knights will go down really quickly here again. And at this stage I think the game is basically over, because we have now gotten into the cookie yard, we have caused a lot of disruption and chaos here, and we have my range is just free to work. He did engage with Karl here against the archers, but it will take me a long time to do anything significant there, and I'm just keeping the pressure on him to distract him and keeping from doing something important. I don't really have something useful for this Arcane Phoenix to do here, so why not distract Karl a bit, and if it goes down I have a reasonable chance to get it back with the procced heal, so it's fine. Otherwise I just try to whittle down everything, keep the chaos going, try to cycle charge the cab back between the units, but it's at this point it's a bit messy here as I overstay in these spheres here, but it doesn't really matter at this point because the game is already over here, so I'll just fast forward to the end. The only thing left is basically Karl that can do anything here, and we go for the snipe on the caster here to just get rid of that healing, and when he's down it's over. So that was that game. Not perfect, but at least the build worked against this Empire build. I'm not sure how well we would have done against Steam Tanks. Probably would have lost horribly, but it is what it is. I think I kind of like this build anyway. It has a chance to do something. And the combination of Silverhelms, White Lions and Plague of Rust is really nice, I think. And then, so that's the basic idea with the build, right? Actually, I got a lot of value on the Arcane Phoenix, so it wasn't bad at all. And the Silverhelms did very good. I mean, 2 of them paid for themselves straight up, and the other 2 almost did. So very good performance from them, I think. White Lions didn't have so much to fight in the front line there and took some beating, but that's fine. The bolt throws stayed online all the time. This one did excellent. Fought none damage on the bolt thrower, really good. The other one paid for itself, spears, and the archer unit also got to stand there and just deal damage all the game, so very good. Carl did pretty well, not bad, but not excellent. He needed to carry much more in this build, and the long rifles did fine. One of them did well, and the other two okay, I guess. Yeah, the greatsword had a rougher time, and yeah, spears are spears. So that's that. So the third game, we go up against Dark Elves, which is I think another hard matchup for High Elves. Not as hard as Empire, but really hard. And the reason it's hard is mainly because these guys, Bloodrock Medusas, are really strong right now. They just annihilate the infantry with the ranged attack, and yeah, High Elves have tightly packed infantry of high value, so that's really nasty. Otherwise, he comes with a surprising build here. I had expected 2 Medusas, that's why I went with this core. But instead he had a lot of infantry, so he has Witch Elves, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4 Corsairs, 5 Corsairs, and 2 Cold War Knights. And then he has the Dark Sorceress on the Dragon. So this is staple. And Medusa is staple. So this one I expected. I had maybe expected 2 Medusas and up to 4 Cold War Knights. So this is more infantry heavy than I was expecting. As for my build, I again go with White Lions here, because I like White Lions. They're a good tool to have against cavalry again, so it's a combination of Silver Helms and White Lions together do very well against cavalry if you can fight close to the White Lions. Then we have a little skirmish here to make sure that I fulfill the attacking rule and am engaging at all times, so that gives me more freedom to work with the single entities here without any complaints. Right. Then we have a little cheeky vanguard here and here. I missed that before, so that's the Dark Riders. For that reason I will activate my cab here soon. So let's kick this one off. So we move up with the single entities to poke a bit, and we also poke a little bit on the Witch Elves here with the skirmish unit. I tried to catch these, so I clip this one a little bit and slow it down, and then I will move in with the skirmish cab here to try to pincer it and stop it. And I also move I think my Arcane Phoenixes down to help to catch these guys, and I managed to maybe clip them a little bit back here as well. But at least I catch this unit, so that's a good catch, and we can bring that one down. Hopefully I don't get a nasty counter charge here from the cold ones. It's close, but I do pull out, at least I pull out enough so that the charge is not that good. But my Reavers take a beating for sure. But I get the counter charge with my Silver Helms, so it's not the worst. Not the worst. Unfortunately my Metal Caster is over here, so I can't Plague of Rust them, so I have to take that fight the way it is. But I did get a free charge, so it's fine. I also start to work on infantry here, free charge on some Witch Elves here and here. So that's important here for me to win against this line, I think, because otherwise I would have a problem in the late game, at least if I lose too much health on my Silver Helms. And here we support that fight again, coming with the other unit of Silver Helms, and get a fresh charge on that one. And I also started to put some pressure on the Supreme Sorceress here, so the dragon don't want to fight 3 single entities at once. Even if you have the Soul Stealer and get some damage back, it's not really something you want to do. And at this stage I just pull back with my White Lions, because I don't want to give him this fight. But here I have to turn, because I'm starting to get too close to the White Line, and so I just have to take the fight. But at least I managed to delay it long enough, and most important, I think I managed to get this engagement away from the Medusa. And the Medusa has short range, so she can't really nuke my infantry here. It's better for me that she shoots the single entities. It's not bad against single entities, but not as good as versus infantry. And then when I see this gap, I turn all my cavalry around because I want to win this infantry fight, and I try to get as many rear charges as I can, but I have to turn around and take on that Cold War Knights here, because otherwise they will get a free charge on me. So I turn back and I'll get the Plague of Rust on it, so hopefully my Silver Helms will now be able to win that fight, and I again engage the Sorceress so that she will not engage my Silver Helms. And then we get at least a few rear charges here and start to work down that infantry, because I don't want to lose this infantry fight too clearly, because I think I will have problems then. So we keep the pressure up on the Sorceress, and then try to stay away with the skirmish cab and get rear charges on the infantry still here and just work them down. So that one is going on, and we go in now to just keep the pressure up here at all times. For now I'm ignoring the Medusa because I actually think it's fine that it shoots my single entities here. And in the end, if I win the infantry fight here, he will not be able to protect the Medusa. I'll just swarm it. It's going not perfectly though. My White Lions have taken a lot of beating, and my cab is pretty hurt too, and the balance of power is slightly in my advantage, but still not great. But I'm starting to pressure the Medusa now at least, because now I've gotten the infantry close enough to just apply the pressure and try to make it move. If it's moving, it's not shooting, right? So that's the plan there. Then we again have the engagement with Silver Helms against Cav with Plague of Rust, which is again really good. That allows the Silver Helms to actually stay in this fight and not get their brakes beaten off them. Otherwise, it's starting to get under control now. It was a bit chaotic for a while. So we are winning a lot of engagements, I think. His infantry is almost gone, it's very low HP overall, so it's not as much of a threat. The main threat now is the Medusa and the Lord. And I still have my two birds and I have my caster. So it's looking good. And we're starting to get the sorceress down here, and she's probably starting to run out of music magic for the healing spell, so Soul Stealer. So I just keep the pressure up, try to get her first if I can, and at the same time just try to get rid of the remnants of the infantry here with my last unit of cav. But mainly it's now just the single entities that will settle this. So we go in again with the two birds. Here, actually split them up. I'm not sure. Ah, yeah, I go in with this one here because I want to use the bombardment of the other bird. So I move in on the infantry here and do the poop. And that will take care of these unit shells. I think I have used the ability once or twice before, but I actually missed it now. But they haven't been too active with these abilities, and I think these abilities are really good in the end game, so no need to really stress using it too early. But at this point we again go for put the pressure on the sorceress, and I think we are about to make her break now. Now I go in with all three single entities on her. Here we are, we get a few more hits in, and there she breaks. So we take the bird with the lowest health and pursue, and then we go with the other units, and now we can engage the Medusa, and she's all alone. And at this point there's not so much, I will just clean up infantry with the other cav here while I chase off the sorceress, and we'll start to engage the Medusa. And from this point it should be just armor losses. So this I think was a really good game. I was really happy the way it played out, just the way I wanted it, sort of. And again, I'm not sure if this build will cut it against double Medusa and 4 Cold War Knights, but against this build it was good enough. So it's work in progress to find something that actually works against Dark Elves. It's not an easy matchup, I think, but I think this build has potential. Could do well. And the birds did again really good actually. They both paid for themselves and got chevrons. Silver Helms again, 1500, 840, 1200, 900. I think excellent performance from the Silver Helms, really good. I really like this unit. With Plague of Rust they really perform. The White Lions in this game did better, not bad at all. They mostly paid for themselves, and my Reaver, he did his job. He was annoying and he was fulfilling the attacking rule the whole game, so all good. As for the Dark Elves, really good value on the sorcerers, of course. Soul Stealer is always strong, plus the Dragon, and Medusa did fine. I've seen worse, so it wasn't the worst for me, but she was dealing damage all game, so not bad. But she didn't get the best targets, so all in all it's fine. The Cold War Knights did not pay for themselves. Of course they had a tough job against 4 cav units. Witch Elves, not bad at all. Corsairs, well, not bad at all. I mean, the infantry did pretty well. It was a contested game, and I think it was a good game overall. Okay, so this is now the finals game. I made it to the finals somehow, and this is where it all goes bad. I go up against the Vampire Counts, which in game 2 is a really good matchup for High Elves, so I am actually think that I should have the advantage here, but I don't really know how to build. I played the same guy in the first round, and then I had a really bad build, and it was a more Warhammer 2 blob build that failed horribly. And so I'm trying something different here. I'm trying a wider build with just 5 spears and 5 Lodron Sea Guard and 2 War Lions and a Life Caster on the bird and a Star Dragon. And looking at what he brings, I actually think that this looks really good for me, when I start here at least. And maybe I should have the advantage here, I'm not sure actually, because the build he's bringing is not, I think, the most scary build. The most scary build would have maybe 3 Varg Heists instead of these Cryptors. But he comes with 4 Cryptors and a Corpse Cart, Manfred, which is the big problem on Dragon, because if I can't kill him, he will kill my army, more or less. He has insane Winds of Magic generations, and he has some OP spells with the Giz and Nagash, and all the jazz. So he is the problem. Nothing else is really a problem in that army. It's Manfred. And at the start here, he has some Vanguard Bats, and I sort of make a guess here that he will have Bats in Vanguard. So I deploy my Lodron Sea Guard and Dogos here. So if we just kick it off, we'll see that I get some free picks here on the Bats from the get-go. So that's fortunate for me. And also why I guess you shouldn't really Vanguard unless you really want to. This is you always risk that this will happen. So I thought I got a good start here, but it will not help. I will make many mistakes in this game because I don't really know the matchup. I've played it. This is the second time I played the matchup, and the first time was against the same guy where I lost, so I just try something else. Otherwise I've never played this in game 3, and I don't really know what I should prioritize, but I learned a lot from this game, so it's all good. So here I just try to get in position. I think I just fast forward a little bit because I really don't like playing against Vampire Counts. I think it's boring games overall. It's all about Lord sniping or boxing or ganking each other in the air. Blah, boring. So I try to just pressure Manfred a bit here because he has no support in the air, which should be good for me, but now in game 3 you can just go and land. So he's not in that much danger, And here you see the first mistake, really horrible, because this is not the Starnsman. I was just in, at least this was after midnight and after a few beers, so it was just I saw the purple icon and I thought, oh, the Starnsman, let's give them a breath. Complete waste. I should have used it on the Blood Knights, which should be a priority here. And here you see the Gaze on the Gash. Boom. That was probably just a single cast and almost half the unit, because he caught it nice from the side, so it was a good shot from him, very good. But still, even from the front overcast it will do the same or more against tightly packed units. Gaze on the Gash is completely bonkers. And he has the Winds of Magic generation to do that over and over and over again. So at this point here, I do more mistakes. My Lothian Sea Guard are too far ahead. I move up to start to get damage on the Crypt Horrors. And here I think, okay, I'm probably going for a breath here, or I should, because I'm thinking fire damage against regeneration should be a really good deal. But it does nothing. It just, yeah, he's moving, so it hits behind him, more or less the whole thing. I'm starting to work them down, so at this stage I actually think I am doing well. But in fact I'm not, because again I'm overestimating the healing on the Crypt Horrors. I'm thinking, okay, half health here is fine, they go into spears and they are large, and they're not supported by zombies, so I think this is fine, but it's not enough to get them down. I'm very inactive with my single entities here, which is again a mistake. I should be using my breaths, but I don't really have that much of breath targets here that are really good, except the the Black Knights. And they are, where the hell are they? I can't even find them. I'm blind. Okay, there they are, one on the Hope Scout icon. So that's what I should be going for here, but I go for Manfred instead, which is a mistake, because he will heal himself up and I will not be able to get him. He will land and he will countercharge with Crypt Horrors and the Black Knight, the Blood Knights. And here you see actually Crypt Horrors are beating the spears in melee. I didn't see that one coming. I was quite happy to have my Lothian Sea Guard in melee with unsupported criticals, but they're Crypt Horrors actually. They heal through it and they are killing LSG. So these were losing fights. I thought I'd win for sure. Then I try to just use my doggos here to clear some zombies from the LSG. That's why I brought them at least. That's what I wanted to do. But I end up being stuck too much in melee with wall lines. I should be charging much more. But I was thinking, okay, it's just zombies and maybe some skeletons. They should just beat them very convincingly in melee, but they took some damage. And I just don't really have enough to keep everything clear here. And I'm still sort of trying to put pressure on Manfred, but I can't get to it. It's not enough, and he's using overcast hex here to keep everything up, I guess. Maybe not. Yeah, there it was. So everything here gets healed up and resurrected, and I don't have the power here to actually kill any of the critical units. So at this point it's over. I think I had my shot, but I blew it. I should have focused more on the Blood Knights, I think, earlier. And yeah, at this point my healing can't keep up with his healing and all his damage output for all these units here. I tried to burst them out and I'll try to cycle charge a bit, but I get some damage on Manfred, but it's just not enough. And it turns more and more into a classic blob fight. That always happens here. I try to pick these units off, but again, it's just not enough. I don't think any of them... Now the Crypt Horrors actually survived that as well, and then they will be healed up again. So I don't have enough to actually score the hit, and eventually my Archmage takes too much damage and starts to rout off, and here again I make a mistake because I see this happening here, and I'm thinking, okay, I have to get up in the air and start to pull the Star Dragon out. But then Manfred comes in here, and I get greedy and I think, okay, he is behind me and he's the one that will chase it, so I can get a few more hits before I take off. So I turn around and I want to get a few more hits on him while I try to burst out my Archmage here. But then that's a big mistake, because then he will just take off just before me here. Just here. I can't catch up to him. He gets a head start, and there's definitely game over, right? So I will not be able to catch up. He will follow with 2 units, and I have only 1 unit that's not routing, and there's no way I can stop this here. He will try to land, and I will avoid it and try to get some hits in, but here it's over. So it's just back to the blob and lose it. But in the end, I think if I played this better, I could have won against this build. But if he had brought what I think is the best build with Manfred and Varg Heists, I don't know how High Elves can win that actually. We have made some test games after this with Hanan, and I have just no chance. I don't know. Even if he's playing better than me, I don't know what I need to do better to win this matchup anymore. And in game 2 it was really easy, one of the best matchups for High Elves, but the way Gaze of Nagash is now, and with Manfred generating this much HP, and with Generation being this strong, because in game 3 it's percentage of health instead of just, in game 1 I think Regeneration was like 4 hit points per second, and here it's like 0.01% per second or something like that, and that means for criticals I think their generation is like 2.5 times stronger than in game 2, if I got that right in my head. Maybe I miscalculate, but anyway, it's really strong regeneration, and you can stack it as well with the Corpse God. So this may have been another mistake. Maybe I should have focused this one earlier, but it would have cost me a lot of health on my dragons if I was diving this. So I'm not sure I really could. And a breath is not enough to kill it, or even 2, so he could have just healed it up and I would have done nothing anyway. So this one's actually tricky. I'm not sure how to approach it, so if I figure it out, I will maybe return and make another video, who knows. But anyway, that's it for this session. I had a very fun run in this tournament, and I learned a lot about game 3 and new matchups and everything. So it was a pleasure and it was fun, and I'll just see if anyone actually likes to watch this type of content on this channel. Please let me know. Otherwise maybe I just shouldn't do it. It's an experiment, and yeah, we'll see.